The lecture hall of the Galactic Military Academy became quiet as the holographic display sprang to life. Commander Zephyx, a formidable Alarian with scales that shimmered like polished obsidian, pointed toward the projection with one of his four arms. Today, cadets, we delve into the third battle of Kepler 438b, a pivotal moment in the human war that altered the trajectory of galactic history. The slide showed what seemed to be a young human female, just beyond the stage of adolescence, according to their species' norms. Her dark hair was tied back in a straightforward ponytail, and her brown eyes conveyed a disquieting mix of purity and resolve. She donned the standard-issue uniform of the human colonial Marines, although it appeared oversized for her slender figure. Cadet Threx, a Voran warrior clad in chitinous armor that has organically developed from his exoskeleton, snorted in disdain. "Commander, respectfully, this seems to be a young one. There must be a mistake in the historical documentation." A number of other non-human cadets chattered in unison. The Xerillian's antenna quivered with delight as the crystal-based Quartzians echoed with melodious laughter. Commander Zephyx's demeanor was serious. "All clear, Cadet Threx. Lieutenant Sarah Chen, 17 standard years old. By the time this day concludes, you will grasp the reason she earned the title of the Ghost of Kepler. Across 12 sectors." The commander initiated the next slide, revealing a tactical overview of the Kepler system. The Vorthon hegemony sent their top-tier shock troops to the mining colony on Kepler 438b, a force of 3,000 experienced warriors equipped with quantum disruptors and clad in battle armor capable of enduring plasma strikes. They anticipated overwhelming the tiny human garrison within mere hours. Threx leaned in, his multifaceted eyes shining with keen curiosity. The Vorthon hegemony's elite forces were renowned. Every warrior had endured a minimum of 50 combat deployments. What was the number of human defenders present? 47, Zephyx responded softly. Primarily engineers and miners who had stepped forward for fundamental military training. Their typical age was 19 standard years. A Felinian cadet, her fur standing on end with doubt, lifted a clawed hand. "Commander, the strategic calculations are unfeasible. There are boundaries even to human stubbornness." The following slide displayed the arrangement of the colony, featuring a network of mining tunnels located beneath a group of prefabricated surface buildings. Lieutenant Chen was examining the geological surveys of the colony. As her fellow Marines geared up for a seemingly futile surface battle, she arrived at a different conclusion. The holographic display focused on the tunnel system, emphasizing stress points and structural supports. The humans had been mining heavy elements for a duration of 18 months. The whole underground system was filled with orchestrated demolitions, charges utilized for a precise mining. Realization started to appear on numerous faces across the lecture hall. Chen understood that the Vorthon forces would exploit the tunnels for strategic gain, maneuvering through them to circumvent the surface defenses. Thus, she opted for a decision that no Vorthon commander would have contemplated. The simulation commenced, depicting tiny figures navigating the tunnels as larger armored entities progressed from various entry points. She locked herself within the tunnel network as the Vorthon forces drew closer. Threx's mandibles clacked in bewilderment. "Taking one's own life is not a strategic benefit, Commander." It was not a suicide, Cadet. It was all about patience. The simulation persisted. The youthful human form navigated the tunnels with uncanny accuracy, consistently outpacing the chasing Vorian soldiers. She abandoned tiny gadgets, makeshift explosives fashioned from mining charges.
For 6 hours, Lieutenant Chen guided 3 companies of elite warriors through a labyrinth of her own creation. Each turn, each junction, each dead end had been committed to memory. Based on the geological surveys, she knew the precise locations to position each charge for optimal impact. The holographic Chen arrived at a central chamber deep within the tunnel system. The Vorthon forces gathered from 6 distinct routes, confident they had trapped their target. The hegemony's most significant tactical error was believing that human children reasoned like human adults. They readied themselves for traditional military tactics, unaware of a 17-year-old who had spent years immersed in 3-dimensional puzzle games. The simulation displayed the concluding moment. The young lieutenant positioned herself in the middle of the chamber, her finger poised above a detonator. The Vorthon soldiers lifted their arms, triumph close at hand. Chen activated all charges at once. The holographic display burst forth in a meticulously orchestrated series of explosions. The tunnel system fell apart in a specific order, resulting in a huge sinkhole that engulfed both the underground troops and the Vorthon command post along with the supply depot above ground. The lecture hall was completely quiet. In just 17 minutes, Commander Zefix reported, Lieutenant Chen took out 73% of the invading force and severely weakened their logistical support. The Vorthon troops withdrew in under 6 hours. Threx's voice was just a faint murmur. And the lieutenant? The last slide displayed a blurry image, rescue teams extracting a tiny silhouette from the debris. Sarah Chen lay unconscious, her body dust-covered and bearing minor injuries, yet she was still alive. She meticulously planned the blast pattern to form a protective pocket surrounding the central chamber. It appears that human mining engineers excel in the art of controlled demolitions. She endured 2 broken ribs and a concussion. The commander faced his varied class of alien cadets. The Vorthon hegemony's post-battle analysis determined that they had faced defeat at the hands of a veteran military strategist with decades of experience. For more than a year, they chose to reject the truth. He pointed back to the initial slide, displaying the youthful face of Sarah Chen. When facing humans in combat, keep this lesson in mind. They engage in combat unlike any other species in the galaxy. Their children can pose as much danger as their veterans, as they have yet to grasp what should be deemed impossible. The lecture hall was silent as the implications weighed heavily on the assembled cadets. In human warfare, age does not necessarily equate to wisdom. Sometimes it is just the buildup of constraints. Lieutenant Sarah Chen perceived a solution that no seasoned military strategist would have deemed feasible simply because her youth shielded her from the belief that it was unattainable. Commander Zefix turned off the holographic display. The class is now over. Tomorrow, we will explore the second battle of Proxima Centauri, where a human child triumphed over an entire Krell armada using only mining equipment and what they referred to as playground physics. As the cadets exited, Threx stayed back, gazing at the empty spot where Sarah Chen's image once was. "Commander," he finally said, "how do we prepare to confront an enemy that thinks this way?" Zefix's scales turned to a richer shade of black, indicating deep reflection within his community. The reason we delve into their history is to understand that when people claim someone is too young to engage in battle, they may just be indicating that the individual has yet to learn how to restrain their creativity. The Vorton cadet gave a slow nod and made his way to the exit, his thoughts already buzzing with new tactical ideas. In the vacant lecture hall, Commander Zefix glanced again at the inactive projector and murmured, "Humans, the only species in the galaxy where even a child can pose a threat rather than provide comfort."